I was sitting across from the hiring manager, offer letter in my hand, ready to go, sign it, 6 figures, secured. But I said no. My family thought I was crazy. People around me thought I was crazy. For a second, I thought I was crazy. But I want to tell you why I walked away and why it was the best decision I've ever made. From a young age, we're given a picture of what success looks like. Go to school, get your degree, get that salary, make your way up the ladder. When I got this offer, I was set. I had status, I had security, and I had stability. What more do you want? But here's what no one tells you. You can have all that and your life is still empty. And I had to swallow a pill and ask myself a very hard question. Am I chasing a life that looks good, or do I want to chase a life that is good? This job that I was ready to take, ready to sign the papers, say, hey, let's get into it, was a job working for a financial firm, an insurance firm. I'd be working 9 to 5, office job, sitting at my office desk all day. Don't know how that would be. I've never had an office job in my life. I would always hear in the back of my mind, you don't want a 9 to 5, you don't want a 9 to 5, you don't want a 9 to 5. And during this time, another opportunity opens up. God opens up a door for another job. And this is a job that I had reached out for years in advance as an internship. And at that time, when I asked the family friend, he's a family friend, he owns a business, he's the owner of this company. I said, hey, I'm looking to get experience for my resume. I'm in college at this time, getting ready to graduate. And I said, would you be open to taking me on as an intern so I could kind of learn and get that experience? Very, very few words. He pretty much turned me down. He said, no, we're not looking for that at the time. 2 years from that initial call that I gave him passed by. It's during the time I'm ready to take this new job, a salary job. He calls me. He says, hey, my son's looking for someone to kind of shadow him, to help him out, be his assistant in some way or another. Office job, working kind of limited hours, part-time while in school. But there's an opportunity to turn that into a sales job. A sales job where I could then determine my hours, I could work as hard as I want, and my salary is dependent on how hard I work. So I'm in my room, I'm sitting down, and I'm debating, what steps do I take? What decision do I make? Do I take this job where I have a secure salary, where I have status, where I have my position, I could possibly make my way up the company and get a higher salary? Or do I take this job that at the moment doesn't pay as good, but there's an opportunity to grow? I'm probably going to have more flexibility in my schedule, be able to do more in church, get involved more with the things of God. This other job that I was ready to take, it was a faith-based company, which is great. I'm all about faith. I grew up in church. I don't want to leave ministry. I don't want to leave anything that has to do with the church. That's just what I personally want for my life. So being in a faith-based company, it was awesome. And this new opportunity that arises, this job that kind of came in that could later turn into a sales job, family, friends, good Christian people. And then I'd have the opportunity to kind of develop my own schedule and make myself more available for the things of God. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 9 tells us, a man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. I had my plan mapped out perfectly, but God had a different direction. And I've learned that when your plan and his direction don't line up, his direction wins every single time. Sales was never something I planned. It's not glamorous. It has its high moments. It has its low moments. There's no guaranteed paycheck. But sales gave me something that this other job never could have. And that is ownership. Ownership of my time, ownership of my income, and my ceiling. Nobody is now able to tell me what I'm worth or put a cap on what I'm worth. Only I can determine that. I did end up taking that job. The job that pays less. My first year, I made less than $30,000. At this moment, I could give up and say, hey, this isn't it. But I had to trust the process. In all honesty, and I had to know that God had a plan, God had a reason, God had a purpose. My second year, I said, all right, we're going to go in and we're going to work harder than ever. At that point, I was full-time sales, no longer getting my hourly pay, getting my salary, full-time sales. And that year, I made more than I would have in that initial job that I had turned down. My second year, I grew even more, and I'm on my 5th year, and let me tell you that right now, I make more than double than what I would make in that initial job. And it's all because I had faith in God, I trusted the process, and I bet on myself. I knew that if I were to put my time, my finances, not just in my hands, but in the hands of God, and allow God to work through me, that He is gonna bring prosperity into my life, and He's gonna bring blessings into my life that I wouldn't see anywhere else. Here's what I want you to take away from this. A six-figure salary is not your calling just because it's a six-figure salary. It looks nice on paper, yes. Security is not always where God is taking you. Sometimes the uncomfortable, uncertain, unconventional path is exactly the one that you're supposed to walk in. Don't let a number on a piece of paper talk you out of the life that you're actually built for. If in this moment you are going through a similar situation, or maybe you've gone through this situation before, let us know what that experience was like. Drop it in the comments, share with us so that we too can see and determine what steps we need to take in our lives. There's people watching that are going through a situation like this, where they have to decide, okay, do I take the safe choice or the right choice? If that's you, share with us in the comments, like this video. If you know someone who's going through a situation like that, send this video over to them. Let's build something together, and I'll see you in the next video.